Hello, everyone, and welcome to another ASMR video. Today, I wanted to just do a quick update, say hi. It's been just under a week since the last video, and I kind of really noticed that actually. I noticed that I have not been as perhaps, how to put it, as on it as I have in the past with Mermaid Mythos, and that's kind of why I'm doing this video. I have decided to go for an output of 2 videos a week going forward. The plan being to do a midweek video like today's, and then a weekend video probably on a Saturday, maybe on a Sunday, depending on time and availability. The reason I kind of wanted to say that to you guys is not so much, obviously, it is to let you guys know, but not so much to let you guys know as to hold myself slightly accountable to that. That's not to say I'm going to beat myself up if I don't manage that. Sometimes I won't. Life gets in the way sometimes, as we all know. But I wanted to make a pseudo promise just to allow myself to get that in my head and start planning accordingly. So I hope that works for you guys. If it doesn't, if you prefer a different day, or if you think perhaps a smaller or a bigger output is better, but you'd like longer videos or shorter videos, let me know. I generally do at the moment around 15 minutes to 20-minute videos. I wouldn't be against some longer ones in the future, but it probably needs to wait until I have a week off work or something like that to be able to do it. Also, I have changed a few settings on my microphone just to try and get a bit of a crisper audio. I don't know if I've necessarily achieved that, but I thought I'd try it out all the same. So if you guys have any opinions on the audio, especially because I'm soft spoken, soft speaking this time, let me know. As always, I also a quick apology for the background. I keep meaning to get the green screen up, but I forget until I'm starting to record, which is just where my mind is. It's frazzled at the moment. So yeah, that's going to that's going to get better too, I hope. At least, if not with the weekday video, the Wednesday video, then probably with the Saturday or Sunday video. The reason being, weekdays can be hectic, so sometimes it's nice to just come in, record, and kind of get away as soon as possible to allow for my own relaxation to a degree. But if you guys really feel like it, is impacting your enjoyment of the content, I'll try and be a bit more conscious of it, a little bit more preemptive of it. Yeah, so there's that. I thought I'd talk a little bit about my kind of mantra the past 3 or so weeks, which I think is a really interesting one. So I go to a therapist. I had a really bad breakup about a year ago, and I go to kind of help with the fallout of that, but also for a number of other reasons relating to myself. And what I found is with my therapist is that I I like to know everything. I like to know as much as I can, whether that be as prevention or just because I feel a compulsion to know. So sometimes it's to solve a problem that hasn't come yet, or all that type of stuff. And my therapist said, try to practice. I know what I need to kind of go, okay, my my life is good enough in this moment without that information. And it goes kind of to the adage, which we obviously use generally in a negative sense in society, which is ignorance is bliss. But maybe there is some truth in that on a more positive note. Maybe sometimes we seek too much. Maybe sometimes we need to know too much. Maybe sometimes we're too wired in. Sometimes the chaos is actually the calm, because knowing too much becomes a desire to keep everything in order, becomes a spiraling inability to do so, becomes a breakdown, or any amount of things. And so I've really been trying these past few weeks to adapt that and work on that. And I feel like it's paying off. It's a hard one because there's certain situations where I don't even know I'm doing it. But it's weird because I have had a lot of trouble with friendships for similar reasons. I want to know, I feel like I need to know how my friends are doing, what they're up to. I frame it often as being the caring friend. But sometimes you don't need the caring friend. Sometimes you don't need anyone at all. And that's something I'm trying to learn, that of course there are people who are there who are lonely, who need someone to talk to, who, feel that they are lonely in this world. I'm one of them at times. But I also think there is a group of people who need their own time to process, need their alone time, need their ASMR time, maybe, or other such activities. They're just sit and draw, to watch the time go by just for a bit. And it's very hard for me to do that because I often see their lack of a desire to talk with me as a failing of myself rather than a need of theirs. And it's weird, isn't it? Because we can't know what any other person wants or needs in reality. We can ask and they can tell us, but it doesn't mean it's true, and it doesn't mean it's their right thing they need, and it doesn't mean that they've given us the whole picture, and there might be more nuance. Do we know anyone fully? Maybe not. And so you have to kind of embrace that not knowing. And so that's what I've been trying to do. But it's scary. It is so scary, the unknown. How can you, like, for me, I start to think, oh, but if I only knew why they didn't like this that I did, or if I only knew what I could do better in this regard. And the fact is, sometimes, no matter how much better you were, or are, or could be, some people will not want to know you, some people will not be able to have the time for you, some people are struggling with their own stuff. So I guess what I'm trying to learn through all of this is accept yourself, say you're enough, deal with the hand you're dealt, and roll with the punches, because going any other way leads to pushing people away, to having people struggle to interact with you because you feel you are being positive. But we all know there's such a thing as toxic positivity, something so almost oversweet that it becomes intolerable, right? It's like having too much cake. You need something to stave that off. So yeah, it's one of those things where I'm really struggling with it, but feel it is very worthwhile, and I'm hoping that I find my own worth in that conversation. Maybe you guys are going through something similar. If you are, know what I've just said is probably true for you too. And if not, then see how maybe you could apply some of the lessons, or apply a different mantra, but something that feels equally true to the reason why things aren't going your way sometimes. Because, sometimes things aren't going your way, but are you pushing them in that direction to begin with? It's hard to get out of the mindset of our own importance, whether we are humble or not, is inflated by ourselves. We are so self-important as individuals because that's the point, isn't it? It's survival. But sometimes we need to get out of that headspace, and I hope you guys can, as much as I feel like I am doing. It's nice to talk about it. It feels like for the first time in a while, I feel like maybe I am enough. I feel like this week has been going good because of it, because of this revelation. And yeah, I'm glad with where everything's going. I'm excited about Mermaid Mythos going forward amongst my other content endeavors, amongst my job, my personal life. Things are looking up. And again, I've said this before, sometimes you have to go through the hard work, the suffering, to get to the good work, the good stuff, the reward. And I think we're all going through that on one level or another. And so whatever struggle you guys are going through with, whether it's this or something more concerning, I hope you get to be able to say to yourself one day, enough. Whether that be I am enough, or whether it be I am not standing for this any longer, that is enough. Or whether it be, okay, I've done enough, or whatever it needs to be, enough. Because I think that's a word we don't use, funnily enough. That there is a point where things can change, and a point where things are as they need to be, or as they should be, or if not, that they should change from there on. And so, with that in mind, I'm going to leave you guys for now. I'm excited to see how this schedule works out, but in the meantime, keep safe. You guys are great. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. And sleep well, relax well, have a good time zone. Thank you guys, as always. And I'll see you later.